Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Story Podcast, the best place to improve your English naturally through conversations. I'm John, your host, and I'm delighted to be here with you today.
And I'm Zara, your co-host. Hi, everyone. We're so excited you're joining us because today we're going to help you with one of the most important parts of learning any language, vocabulary. But here's a question for you. Have you ever learned a bunch of new English words and then forgotten them just a few days later? Trust me, you're not alone.
Oh, absolutely, Zara. It's so frustrating when you spend hours memorizing word lists, only to realize you can't recall them when you need to speak. Well, today we're going to change that. In this episode, we'll show you why simply memorizing words doesn't work and how to learn new vocabulary in a way that actually sticks.
Exactly, John. We'll be sharing practical, easy-to-use methods that will help you remember words longer and use them confidently in everyday conversations. Whether you're a beginner or just someone who wants a smarter way to learn vocabulary, this episode is perfect for you.
So grab your notebook or just relax and listen, because by the end of this podcast, you'll have the tools you need to make vocabulary learning fun, effective, and long lasting. Let's get started. All right, Zara, let's dive into our first big idea: how to make words stick. One of the biggest problems our listeners face, and trust me, I've been there too, is that we often try to memorize long lists of words without any real connection or meaning.
Exactly, John. And the reason that doesn't work is because our brains aren't good at remembering random information. Think about it like this. Have you ever tried to memorize a phone number? It's tough because it's just random numbers. But what if that phone number had some meaning, like your birthday or your lucky number? It'd be so much easier, right?
Great point. Learning vocabulary is the same. Contextual learning, which means learning words in sentences, conversations, or even stories, is so much more effective. Instead of just memorizing the word delicious, try learning it in a sentence like, "The pizza I ate yesterday was delicious."
Right. The word delicious now has a clear picture and memory attached. And even better, if you connect words to real-life situations or stories, your brain has something meaningful to hold on to. That's why storytelling is so powerful for vocabulary retention.
Oh, yes, storytelling is amazing. Let's say you learn a new word, like excited. Instead of just memorizing it, make up a short story. For example, yesterday I was excited because my best friend visited me. We went to the park, ate ice cream, and laughed a lot. Now, excited isn't just a word, it's connected to a fun memory.
Exactly, John. The key is that our brains love connections. When you learn words in context or through a story, you're making multiple connections in your brain, which makes it much harder to forget.
Another tip I love is to personalize your sentences. Use words in sentences about your life. If you're learning the word tired, say something true about yourself. I feel tired after work every day. This personal connection makes the word even more memorable.
That's such a valuable tip. So remember, everyone, the first step to making words stick is to avoid random memorization. Instead, learn words in sentences, use storytelling, and create personal connections. These methods are proven to help your brain remember vocabulary much longer and more naturally.
Great summary, Zara. Next, we'll talk about even more exciting ways to boost your memory. Now, let's talk about memory boosting strategies that will make learning new words easier and more effective. Zara, what's the first technique you'd recommend?
The first one, and probably the most powerful, is called spaced repetition. This is actually backed by science. The idea is simple. You review new words at specific intervals. For example, you learn a word today, review it tomorrow, then again in 3 days, then a week later, and so on. Each review helps your brain hold on to the word a bit longer.
Exactly. This works because it aligns with how our memory functions. Our brains forget quickly at first, but with each review, the word sticks longer. There are even apps like Anki or Quizlet that help automate spaced repetition. You just add words and the app tells you when to review them. It's like magic.
Yeah, I love those apps. And here's another great strategy: association techniques. This means linking new words to images or familiar things. For example, if you learn the word apple, immediately picture a bright, juicy apple in your mind. If the word is cold, imagine holding ice cubes. These mental images create strong memory hooks.
Right. Our brains remember pictures much better than words alone. So, if you learn the word happy, imagine a big smiling face. Or better yet, remember a time when you felt really happy. That emotional connection makes the word impossible to forget.
Absolutely, John. And now, my favorite memory booster, gamification. Turning learning into a game makes it so much fun. Instead of studying, you're playing. For example, you can challenge yourself or a friend. Who can remember more new words this week? Or who can use 5 new words in sentences first?
Oh, I love that. Games make learning less stressful and more engaging. Another game I like is matching words with pictures. Write down words on cards, draw simple pictures on other cards, and then try to match them quickly. It's fun, quick, and your brain will remember the words way faster.
Yes, and games keep you motivated. You can even give yourself small rewards. Maybe after learning 10 new words, treat yourself to something you enjoy. This builds positive feelings about learning English.
So, to recap, use spaced repetition to review words at increasing intervals, use association techniques by linking words to mental images or emotions, and don't forget gamification. Turn vocabulary practice into a fun challenge or game.
Great summary, John. These strategies are scientifically proven to boost your memory and make learning vocabulary not only effective, but enjoyable too.
Next, we're sharing how to practice vocabulary daily so you never forget what you've learned. Now that you've learned some powerful memory techniques, let's dive into how you can easily practice vocabulary every single day. Zara, what's one daily habit you recommend for our listeners?
A fantastic habit to start with is called the 1 word a day method. Here's how it works. Every morning, choose just 1 new word. Write it down, look up its meaning, and then use it in different sentences throughout the day. Keep it simple, and by the end of the month, you'll have effortlessly learned 30 new words.
That's so practical, Zara, and I love that it doesn't feel overwhelming. The trick is consistency. Just 1 word daily can lead to huge improvements over time. Plus, focusing on a single word helps you understand its different uses. For example, if your word is bright, try sentences like, the sun is bright, or she has a bright future.
Exactly. You're practicing without even realizing it. Another daily technique I love is called shadowing. This is where you listen carefully to a native English speaker, maybe from a podcast, YouTube video, or even your favorite TV show, and then repeat what they say immediately after. It helps you remember new words and improves your pronunciation and fluency.
Shadowing is amazing. And listeners, here's a simple way to start. Listen to a short clip, just 30 seconds. Then replay it and repeat each sentence right away. You'll be surprised how quickly you pick up new words and phrases this way. And if it feels tough at first, don't worry. Even doing it for 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference.
And here's a bonus tip. Combine shadowing with spaced repetition. When you learn a new word through shadowing, add it to your word list or app and review it again later that week. Your memory will thank you.
Another fun idea is the daily journaling habit. Take 5 minutes at night and write a few sentences about your day using the new words you learned. You could write, "Today the weather was bright and sunny," or "I felt happy because I finished my homework." Journaling helps those words stick in your long-term memory.
I love that idea. Writing helps you practice spelling and grammar naturally. Plus, it's enjoyable to look back and see your progress. And remember, daily practice doesn't need to be complicated. Even talking to yourself in English is fantastic practice. Narrate your actions like, "I'm making coffee now," or "I'm walking to the store."
Absolutely, Zara. The key to daily practice is to keep it simple, fun, and consistent. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge impact on your vocabulary and overall confidence in English.
Perfectly said, John. So, to summarize, use the 1 word a day method, practice shadowing regularly, combine it with spaced repetition, try journaling, and talk to yourself in English every day. These small habits can transform your vocabulary skills.
Stay with us because up next we have some final takeaways and a fun challenge to boost your vocabulary today. All right, friends, we've covered a lot today. Let's quickly recap so you don't miss any key points. First, we talked about why memorizing word lists isn't effective and why learning vocabulary in context makes a huge difference.
That's right. Contextual learning helps words stick. Then we shared powerful memory-boosting strategies like spaced repetition, association techniques, and gamification. These methods make learning fun and long-lasting.
And remember, the 1 word a day method and shadowing are fantastic daily practices. Just a few minutes each day can dramatically improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, and confidence.
Exactly. Vocabulary isn't just about memorizing words, it's about using them. The more you practice using words in real life situations, the more fluent you'll become.
Now, let's finish with today's exciting listener challenge. Ready, Zara?
Absolutely. Your challenge today is to create a fun mnemonic for a tricky word you recently learned. Remember, a mnemonic is a funny or memorable way to remember a word. For example, if the word is gigantic, imagine a giant ant that's so huge it can't fit in your house.
I love that one. Here's another example, the word eloquent, meaning someone who speaks very well. Imagine an elephant giving an eloquent speech. It's silly, but unforgettable.
Exactly, John. So pick one tricky word, create a funny or interesting mnemonic, and share it with us in the comments. We'd love to hear your creative ideas.
Yes, sharing also helps others learn, so don't be shy. Engage with the community and have fun practicing your vocabulary. Remember, learning English should always be enjoyable.
And before we go, don't forget to subscribe to the English Story podcast, give us a thumbs up, and share this episode with your friends. Every bit of support helps us grow and create more helpful content for you.
Thank you so much for listening. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and you'll master English vocabulary in no time. See you in the next episode.
Take care and keep learning, everyone.